Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 394. Today is Saturday, December 18th, 2021, and I'm glad you could join me today. It is a gorgeous but cool day in San Francisco. It's 49. It'll be okay. Would it be? And then I am contemplating what exactly I'm going to be doing with my day today. It is gloriously unstructured right now, and that is okay. As you do. But what would it be? It's just, or would it be? Like, because Christmas and New Year's Day are falling on Saturdays, I think it just ends up making it just a little bit strange for the next couple of weeks. Just because, like, sometimes I like the option of doing something on a Saturday, but I know that I will not be able to do things for the next 2 Saturdays. But yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be too crazy. It's just a little bit strange. I would also say that it's just a little bit strange because since the weather is so consistent here, the lack of seasonal cues for summer and winter. It's just, it makes it a little bit more challenging to, be like, what? It's almost Christmas? Like, I'm definitely feeling it at work, or it'd be the case where there's just this cognitive dissonance because people are wishing me, like, a happy holidays on the telephone and be like, you too. Like, right, whatever. But I suppose that I have been participating in my own holiday cheer. So it's probably fine, good to go, that sort of thing. There may be a carrot cake today. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling when the time comes. I concluded that I should be wearing more knitwear on the podcast, so this is my vitamin D out of linen. It is very cute. It's not warm. That was one of the, or would it be, like, it's, I don't think I need a warm sweater. I don't need a warm sweater inside today. It is sunny instead of foggy, so it does not feel like I need a lace weight sweater. So I'm wearing a lace weight linen one instead. So that is good. What would it be? And I am, like, so freaking close to having this shawl be done, but I did not finish the deed last night. Like, I was sort of looking at how much yarn I had left for this guy. I was like, oh yeah, no, I could totally do this on, no, I could not totally do this on the call. So what's likely to happen is that I will wrap up this row, knit one more garter pair. I suppose I'll weigh and figure out which way I want to end up going. Because I think I can get close to all of the yarn used on this one based on sort of the yarn usage and that sort of thing. Because it's about a gram a pair, and last I weighed, I had like 4.5 grams, so that means I'll be down to 3.5. So I could get to the very bitter end of this by knitting one more row and then, or would it be knitting a row and a half? Or would it be like a pair of garter and a half? You know what I mean? And use pretty much all of it. So that might be what I do. Like that I think is going to be the way to go. So this is the Progression Shawl. It is a Karen Risinger pattern. This is by Karen Around the Twist. She designed this shawl with handspun in mind, and also I believe she also ended up my first SSK. She was also there, and so she got inspired by one of the classes she took at SSK to design a shawl. So I felt like I should support Karen. I bought the yarn I bought the pattern originally for a gradient, but then decided to make a laminaria instead. As you do. And I am really happy that I decided to use this fractal lace weight yarn for the pattern because it looks really good. So, like the pattern is engaging enough to knit without being like mega boring. Though where I am in my knitting right now, it's a little bit hard to tell the difference between like being bored and being fried. And what would it be? We can probably blame the baby nugget for these feelings. So there's been an awful lot of garter lately, as you do. So actually that ends up bringing makes me think of an intriguing idea. Okay. That's where I'm at right now. It's like, whatever. So, but yeah, so it's going to be there. It's, the counting and getting from one section to the next is, what's doing it for me. And then it's mostly pretty straightforward knitting with occasional looking down and being like, am I there yet? Nope. Okay, whatever. But I will not have completed a full pattern repeat for this last little bit, but not like it's the end of the world. And there's also a distinct possibility that I might end up mailing this off. What would it be? Like we'll figure something out. It's not a too super fancy or frilly or anything like that, but it is handspun, so that represents a pretty significant chunk of my time and attention. Would it be? But it would be the case where, so the fiber is Lengthy Fiber Drew, or the colorway is Lengthy Fiber Drews. It's Rambouillet from Hello Yarn. It was a part of a Completely Twisted and Arbitrary spin along at some point. I selected this colorway because it had the most blue in it. But really, would it be this is less of the jewel tones blue and more of the earth tones blue. You know what I mean? Like these are all colors of the natural world, which is gorgeous. It's just not my aesthetic. Or would it be? It is enjoyable. It's just not my usual. You know what I mean? So I am so close. So we'll figure something out. Maybe it is the case where I will manage to make everything make sense. Whatever. Ooh, I have to make sure that's still working. Let's see. So enjoyable so far. Really, really, like, so close to being done. It's a little bit hilarious. It was the case where I sat, like, I had gotten to a good stopping point on my row and then sat down while I was waiting for the water to boil for my coffee. And started working a row, which is why I'm knitting. That's why I'm knitting on the podcast right now. And honestly, it might actually be a pretty short episode this week because, what would it be? Like, there's definitely, or would it be? I have found Spinning Mojo, which means that there is more spinning content than knitting content for this week, which is the first time in a long time. No pressure on me. It's just like, oh yeah, no, this is nice. At the same time, the oh yeah, this is nice is also coupled with the fact that maybe the reason I've been spinning less is that my spinning position, I think, ends up being a little bit lean forward, and the baby nugget does not appreciate when I do that. So there is probably a limit to how much spinning I will be able to do until the baby nugget is released. All right, row is done. See how much yarn there. See, if I do try to use every last little bit of it, I will get to bind off in the blue, which does satisfy me in an amusing way. So that's probably going to be what's going to happen. Like, rejigger things somewhat. Like, how close am I? I need to know. I haven't been writing it down, but or would it be? Normally I'll just write down what I'm doing. Yeah, no, I don't, yeah, it's not, I don't think it's going to go for me to be able to do another row. I think the yarn usage was just a little bit higher. Or maybe it's just a little bit thicker towards the end. Because that was 3.3 grams left to go. Oh, and I totally misspoke last week. It was 1.079 ounces, which is why I was treating it like it was a quarter. So close. I'll have to show it next week. Call it good. But I'm happy with how it's turned out. And I'm starting to lean now towards what it be, because it is a sunny day, it's probably a good day for a little bit of washing and blocking. So I should probably do that and then sign myself up for some sort of midweek Twixmas mailing. I think that'll be good. So should make everything work out fairly well. So on the sweater saga, I don't know whether or not I've actually worked on it this week. Actually, I did do a little bit of work on it on Monday. So it is probably marginally longer than what it was before. And when I finish knitting the shawl, I'm probably going to take some time, reread the directions for the sleeves and get that going, so that I may be just a little bit further on this project here. So not too crazy there. Has a what would it be, like the nice reinforcement in the back. And so Donner Elizabeth Daughtry, my hand spun, a combination of Black Bunny fibers, merino alpaca, and fiber optic polar silk, I believe. So, and the conclusion, based on crowdsourcing, since I was pretty concerned about what was going on with the sweater. So the consensus was for most mothers after breastfeeding, your boobs are probably going to return to their original size. So that means that I shouldn't knit sweaters that accommodate the +7 cup size for, or would it be, until I have a better idea of like where my body's at. And to be quite frank, I've like, even despite like the very different bust differential, or no, I guess I haven't like thrown out a lot of sweaters or would it be, but it's fine. Would it be? It might be the case where I opt to make more positive ease sweaters for myself, but then find some sort of vague compromise in terms of like if I decide to knit a yoke when I do my sleeve split, it might be the case where I opt for like +4 inches in the front instead of +3 inches in the front or something like that. But that I shouldn't re-architect my sweaters. Just accept this wait and see approach. And like also understanding is I do feel pretty strongly about this is would it be like there's selecting the patterns and styles that you like, there is executing on that, so whatever, getting gauge or knowing what your gauge is and accommodating, and then the final thing is selecting the size that you are right now. Not the size you wish to be, not the size you think you are, but whatever, truth in that, and what would it be? Understanding that getting that size right is going to unlock a very nice sweater. So it may just be I don't know. But it's also the case where I'm like a little bit uncomfortable with being like, whatever. So now that I've had like a couple of nice positive ease sweaters knit, I think I feel comfortable doing that, and I've definitely gotten better at managing that. So I think that's going to be the plan for now. And I'll have to sit down and maybe evaluate my sweater quantities, at least, like a little bit, in case yarn usage makes it so that it's not quite right. I don't know. Because you can't decide which. Whatever. Or I need to know a lot of baby stuff for a while and call it good. That's an option. Whatever. We'll figure something. But one of the suggestions was like just knit cardigans for yourself for a while. But I definitely like a pullover. Obviously I'm wearing a cardigan today, but and an open front cardigan at that. But basic, or would it be the case where I find more utility in a pullover than a cardigan. I enjoy knitting pullovers more than cardigans. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. So I should, or whatever. So just have to manage it appropriately and go from there. But yeah, no. So I probably do need to put a little bit of time in to get to the next step of the thing. But my block of like, do I just need to rip this out and I shouldn't cut my yarn into more pieces before I make that decision? I think I'm past that now. So I will proceed with it because, what would it be? The bones ain't changed. That is the right amount of drop for my shoulders. And we will either assume that the sweater will grow a little bit in blocking, or I will have body changes to come. Or, we know body changes are to come, so whatever. So just like mild wait and see approach. So, but I do think I want to get that back on a good track before I go to cast anything else on. Or go back and fix some things I am not quite satisfied with. See, because I do have a pretty deep set of that stuff, right? Or would it be like I'm wearing my neighborhood fiber company crayon etching, but I do really need to rip out the sleeve ribbing and knit it on tighter needles and with a faster decrease rate. Like that does need to happen. And I do need to rip out my skew socks to where I would need to start doing more frequent gusset increases so that I can better accommodate my instep so it'll actually go on my foot. Like we can't have this handspun locked up. So, and those were projects that probably involved a little bit more brain space, and maybe I have some of that coming up because I will be off for the week between Christmas and New Year's, as you do. So, that is that is also an option as well. It may also just be the case where I am feeling some time pressure in order to accomplish some things, as you do. Okay. Enjoying the coffee. I think it'd be the case where I had to add more beans to my grinder, so it's probably some sort of combination between the Island Ethiopian and the Phil's Filtered Soul. I concluded that I should probably finish drinking all of the coffee in my cupboard before I make it to the Hawaii coffee. It seemed reasonable. But then making sure that I'm not like waiting too long to have Hawaii coffee, because I'm pretty sure that will be more delicious the sooner I drink it to roasting, as you do. So my big crafting endeavor this week has been the base 12 spin along, and so that is a what would it be? It's a what would it be? A holiday countdown with secular nerdy leanings. And I am, or would it be, after attending the first night of Spin Along, because it also comes with nightly live streams. So after attending the first night and sort of hearing about the rough plan for the color, I concluded that what I wanted to do was split the days in half. And so instead of spinning half an ounce of a bag, I would spin a quarter ounce of a bag. Then I would switch bobbins, roll the dye, and then split that fiber in half and do that. So that is what's happening here, is that this one is the colors out of order, and based on the fact there didn't seem like there was any, or would it be, there wasn't a gradient in this year's spin along. So I was like, yeah, no, this seems like a good choice. And the inspiration photo was actually a quilt that had neutral and jewel tone blocks in it. And so this little twist lock that I'm using is whatever, one of the things that ended up coming with the kit. So I will spin 6 ounces in 12 days, joining along when I can for the live spin alongs. Oops. I don't think we lost that. And what would it be? It's sort of funny because I've incorporated actually a lot of the last couple of days into this bobbin. At this point, there's only one fiber now. That's going to be a surprise. Whatever. We just did night 6, so today will be the 7th day of the spin along. And it's a combination of dyed merino tussa, signature blends, and carded bats. I've really enjoyed the bats, and this is by Hip Strings, husband-wife team. They're both spinners. It's what it be, so it's very enjoyable watching their live streams. So this guy here is a signature blend, and so those bright pops of color are sorry. And then this greeny guy is one of the bats. Sorry, this is. Ooh, you can see a little bit of the sparkle every so often. And then this black guy is also one of the signature blends. And then what's on my wheel, because I've been trying to avoid changing out too many times. Ooh. I was like, there we go. So I have, this is a bat. This is the same signature blend. I've only used up one baggie so far. This one is a signature blend, and then this guy here is a bat. And then there's other ones buried on the bobbin at this point that you can't quite see. So, oops, there we go. So I'll be joining in tonight for night 7. I might have already been, I've already opened bag 7, I don't even remember. What would it be? It's okay. So then I will have another bag finished off tonight because I'll be doing night 7. Maybe this one, maybe this guy might have been 7, I think. And then I'll roll the die and figure out which one I'm adding to this one. So it would be the case where it seems a little bit like the early nights are a lot of brights and the later nights are a lot of neutrals. So what do we? So it'll end up, I don't know whether or not this method will end up resulting in maybe a very similar sort of thing if I'd ended up applying it back on itself or something like that. Not sure. I will end up applying this on my jumbo because I'm pretty sneaky, but I'm pretty sure that I can't. I've done 5 ounces on a Lindrum, on a regular size Lindrum Robin, but I don't want to risk it. And it is turning out pretty fine. Just probably putting myself more in debt in terms of my hand spun lace weight skeins. So I don't think I'll have any time at which colors land on top of each other. It may just be really brief. And that is fine. I might, or would it be? It may be a little late too. to do that sort of thing. Oh, whatever. No, what I was contemplating was whether or not I wanted to get a little bit of offset in there so things didn't necessarily land in the same spots on top of each other, but there's going to be variation that's just coming from the spinning itself, because the hope is that the fiber ends up spinning at a fairly consistent weight all the way through, because they're all wool silk blends, but there's definitely variation. Would it be? And anything that had sari silk in it, or would it be? Or this really dark one here had a sari silk that was a little bit more challenging to spin, whereas this gray guy here had very draftable sari silk, and so that sort of results in fun colors. So I like the effect, and I sometimes like the spinning of sari silk in a blend. But definitely the case where if I am looking to buy bats instead of make my own bats, definitely do like the way that Jill of Hip Strings makes her bats. They have all been super nice. And she actually uses the same drum carder that I use, but would it be? It'd be the case where I do appreciate her very, very technical approach to spinning. And would it be? It's cool. So that's been a decent portion of evenings. It was sort of the case where the first night I knew I wasn't going to be able, or I wasn't going to have time to join in on the second, so I ended up spinning a full ounce on the first night. I think it started on Sunday. So, but I don't think I'll need to do, I guess I might end up doing that again this Sunday, is spinning a full ounce. Does that work? Maybe. I might not. It was like, I was thinking about it, it was like, maybe not actually. Because, or would it be, my Monday night group is having a Tuesday night party and I can't attend. So we will not be meeting on Monday night, so that we don't have the silliness of meeting on Monday and Tuesday. Alas. And yeah, no, the meeting I have on Tuesday goes for so long. That's okay. We will survive. Let's see. Other things I wanted to talk about. So, as a result of having a very engaging spinning project, which I probably need to limit my time working on, this has been a really good option, because then that means that I have one session of spinning, and when I finish that session of spinning, I can go and do other things. There are definitely times when I'll start spinning and then keep spinning forever, and now it's the case where I need to mix up what I'm doing somewhat. I cannot stay here this long. Or sitting in the chair, leaning forward. Doesn't work. Whatever. And I have been, and it has been enjoyable sharing photos on Instagram on the lake, so that's been good. So, what would it be? It looks like today I will have to figure out meal plan for the week, maybe not all of the week, but at least a decent chunk of the week. I had been contemplating doing the full-on turkey dinner, what would it be, during a time when, and I think I'm still gonna end up doing that. So I will do a full-on turkey dinner, probably as at the end of my week off, so that I can whatever have some good cooking time, that sort of thing, and then recruit friends to help consume said meal. And that way I can like time it better with my farm box thing. That should be fine. But it definitely have the turkey. It definitely have the bread for stuffing. Don't have some of the other things. Some of those other things just need to get bought at Safeway and call it good. But yeah, I was contemplating because today would be the day to put the turkey in the fridge if I wanted it to thaw in a reasonable amount of time. So we'll make it work. And it isn't as huge a turkey as I got last year because I opted to do the turkey a little late. But yeah, I'll figure something out. It'll be fine. But yeah, it would be. I think the other thing is just sort of, would it be, doing a bit of online shopping just because I feel like, you know what, it's been too long since I've done these things and I just want to get it over with and call it good. So there may just be a lot of finishing up house projects that should have been done a while ago and just getting it over with. So there's that. But there might also be online shopping because it's just the case where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of not having this in my life. But it's also awkward just because like I'm very cognizant of being in a space that's 2/3 the size of my previous space, and what would it be, that held in tension with there are some things that I would like to have that would enhance my life. So we'll make it work. Or would it be? One of these things is actually having curtains in this room so that when guests come, they don't get woken up by the sun at the crack of dawn. Not that we live on this side of the hill. The crack of dawn is much later than. We get full sun until the sun sets, but we don't get full sun till the sun gets over the hill. Which I'm assuming is pretty late right now. Not that I know, but I'm just guessing. Like, I definitely recall, like, whatever, the brief amount of time which the sun will directly stream into the front window was like in that 9 to 10 o'clock hour for a while when I was working at the front of the house. I have no clue what that is right now because that is no longer my perch. So, whatever. We shall make it work, but it's just, would it be the case with like, get rid of this, need that, all that fun stuff. So, we'll figure it out, but in the meantime, it's complicated. And then recording schedule wise, I'm not going to record on Christmas Day, but I will record on the 26th. And I will probably, I don't know, actually that is an interesting question. I might end up recording on the 2nd as well, because I will probably be doing Flash Your Stash on New Year's Day, as I am wont to do. So that should be fine. A-okay. So look forward to 2 videos from me in 2 weeks. Extra fun. And I will end up doing that as a YouTube live. Whatever. Because I think that ends up working out for the best, basically. And the likelihood of it getting eaten is less. Whatever. My last drum carding video got eaten by Instagram, so that was less than ideal. And then, what would it be? Yeah, so it should be fun. So I might even be able to like share my finished base 12 spin. I'm gonna have a finished object next week. So it should be perfectly pleasant. Looking forward to that. It should be fun. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. So take care, guys. Bye bye.